What's happening, Blades? So I'm back for another video. What a result, by the way, at Deepdale. Absolutely fantastic. 2-0. I said I'd have taken a draw before the game, and at 40 minutes in, I'd have snapped your hand off for that draw. But Illiman does it again, doesn't he? Creates something out of nothing. What a player he is. What a player. He's got to be up there already. I know it's his breakthrough season, really, this, but one at best we've produced, if not the best out of this academy. And that's high praise, considering Kyle Walker, Calvert-Lewin, Aaron Maguire. But where is this kid's ceiling? You can easily see him being picked up by a top side, and that'll be something that I'll come on to a little bit later, really. But obviously, once we get in front, chests go out. You could see the lift in the team as soon as we scored, and obviously it were all us second half. I thought they posed us very few problems. Before that, second best, first 40 minutes, I thought we looked leggy, like I touched on. I thought we looked a little bit lethargic. Hopefully now this break will be welcome rest that they've been needing. But today I've come on to talk about obviously result with Preston, and I thought Alan Brown caused us a few problems, like I'd sort of noted as well, by the way. But I came on to talk about Preston and contracts. That were going to be one of my big things. But big news that we've come to today is Anel's out for 4 weeks. What a hammer blow that is. Absolute nightmare scenario, because obviously we all know he's been a steal, even if it were top end at 5 million that were quoted. He's a Premier League player all day long, this kid, and the fact that we've got him on for a 5-year deal, hats off to Hecky, recruitment team. You can see why we spent all our budget on him, pretty much. What a player. Out for 4 weeks, and we all thought he was going to be a versatile one across the back. And to be fair to Bash, slotting in at left centre half, he's not missed a step. But my concern now is where the cover is getting less and less, and we're still. I mean, Macca said it were going to be 4 to 5 weeks for players like Kieran Clark and Ender to come back. So what do? I mean, Bogle's back in training. I want to sort of think that after the international break, is Bogle ready to go in? Maybe even at left wing back, and Reece dropping back to left centre half, Bash going back to right. I know it's a square pegging a round hole, but you certainly can't drop George Baldock at the minute. Been absolutely fantastic. And Bogle's obviously a great player and versatile himself. He's played there before. I think he played there a couple of times in Prem, actually, while it were just George and Bogle. Obviously most effective at right wing back, but I would have thought Bash had done a job at left centre half, so that may well be the patchwork that we have to go through, because at the moment Anel looks like he's going to miss, I think it's Coventry, Stoke, Blackpool and another. He's touch and go for Norwich at home, basically. We've got a double header with Norwich at home and West Brom away. West Brom obviously not having results at the moment, but they may have changed the manager by then, and even if they haven't, we know they've got some players that can hurt any team in the league. John Swift, who we all like, and we were after for ages, but didn't want to pay that agent's fee. And obviously, Tommy Doyle looks a better deal for us anyway at the moment. But Jed Wallace, and whether DK's fit or not, I don't know. So that double header to have an L back would be a huge boost. But we need to be picking up points in the meantime. I think Blackpool might have another one if I didn't mention them. So yeah, there's some key games coming up that he's going to miss, and it's a shame, really, because it's really biting us now, this injury bug, and you'd have hoped after international break we'd have been looking a bit healthier, but looks like it's going to be a tough push into winter break for World Cup. And speaking of that, obviously it's our star man's going to be on show in Illiman, puts himself further in shop window. 2 years left of his deal, or it'll be 18 months come January. Fabrizio Romano quoted as saying that Prem clubs have been sniffing round him and all got rebuffed. They were all told Sheffield United are not going to sell. Further credit to Prince. To be honest, in terms of backing Eki, you can't say any other. Sander, obviously, going into the last 18 months of his deal in January. I think if we're in and around top spot like we are now, come winter break, I think we hold firm. Unless anybody meets Sander's release clause, I think we hold firm. And I hope it's the same for Egan, the interest around Egan as well. And we have that final push to see us through the season, because I think we've all said how talented this squad is and how great we look. And I think that's showing in terms of performances and results that we're getting. Can it get us over the line? Give us the strongest squad you can to sort of see it through if we can. I don't think we see Sander again after this season. I think he's gone in summer. I think that's probably what they've agreed behind the scenes. He's certainly, Darren Smith on Twitter, who a lot of you will know, who is quite close to the club, and I value his opinion highly, has said that Sander's not interested in negotiating a new deal, really. And you can understand it. There were teams like Chelsea coming in for him. He hadn't kicked up a fuss, but he joined us when we were looking at playing Champions League football. If you can, the heady days of, or even Europa, when we were up at 5th in Premier League, it did happen. It wasn't a dream. And that's when we signed him. That's what he thought we were joining a club on the cusp of that sort of journey. And he's ended up in Championship with us. And don't get me wrong, he's obviously been off the boil. He hasn't always fancied it. He hasn't always been up for the fight in every game. But we all know when he says yes, and he wants to turn up, nobody can live with him in this division. It's men against boys when he coasts past players. And we started game at Preston with him in that deep role, and I don't know whether Ecky's trying to put people off or what, but it's certainly not his best position. We want him on pitch, yes we do, but he's much better further forward in that sort of 10/winger role, if you like, sort of number 10 coasting out to the right hand side, linking in with George. And once Tommy Doyle came on in second half and Sander went further forward, another goal involvement straight away, assist from McBurney. So I think it's the last we see of Sander this season, and we have to thank him and wish him well, because he hasn't kicked up a fuss. And his performances have still been really strong. I think N'Diaye will stall on contract talks. Again, this is in line with what Darren Smith's been saying. Why would he sign? Why would he sign now when he's going into a World Cup? All his options on the table. 21-year-old, has every chance of lighting up the World Cup because of how good he is. We know that. What a sensational talent. I can't remember. I think he's up there, probably the best that our academy's produced. I know we sort of brought him from Boreham Wood, really, but he's come through the system to a degree. Obviously, we've had Walker, Maguire, Brooks. This kid N'Diaye could top them all, really, with where he ends up. Potential is absolutely frightening. So we know he won't be with us long term. But if we can get promoted, can we convince him to stay? Can we get a relegation? If we get relegated, you can go for 30 million. If a club in Champions League comes in for you, you can go for X amount. That's something I think we need to be looking at and pressing on with. And as noted from Darren, it's something that we're focusing on. But with other players out of contract as well, that I think we need to consider. With Ollie Norwood, absolutely brilliant these first 10 games of the season. And I'm hot and cold on Norwood, like a lot of us can be, but I think it's more frustration with him because we know what he can do, and that's why we get frustrated with him. But let's be right, if he were consistent, he wouldn't be playing for Sheffield United, would he? Talent that he's got. So, and at the moment, he's riding that wave of confidence, and what a player. You saw him the other night, he were everywhere, all over the field. Man at match for me, getting his foot in, key passes, just absolutely fantastic. Norwood is an absolute must for me. Billy's out of contract end of the season. McBurney, Osborne, Fleck. Norrington Davis has got 2 years left. Bogle's got 2 years left. We have to start making these decisions, and I get that it's financially driven, depending on what league we're in. But can we not have a scenario A, scenario B situation? Particularly with the key players. Sit Norwood down and say, look, we can't afford to lose you. We want you to stay as a Sheffield United player. Will you agree to X amount on a 3-year deal if we don't go up this year? But we'll also pay you this amount if we do go up this year, and this will be your contract, etc. So I think we need to have those conversations and make it a priority, because let's be right, we want to continue this momentum. Loan players are going to go back at end of the season. And, you know, the core of the squad has proven it's still got enough in the tank. It's just, have we got the finances to do it? And have the players got the desire to go again if it don't work out this year? So, but it's all looking great at the moment. Really positive. I just think we need to shift the focus a little bit onto one eye to the future. And, you know, and N'Diaye would be my priority. But obviously, I'd be looking at players like Norwood and even Fleck, really, because obviously Tommy Doyle's got his place at the minute, but, you know, will he come back again next year if we're still in Championship? We could tie Fleck up for another year or two. He's certainly still a player of high quality. McBurney, has he done enough to earn another contract? He's doing all he can, let's be right, at the minute. So, let me know what you think. Like, share and subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Thank you to those that are doing it so far. I really appreciate it. I've had some more positive interactions with Sheffield United way lads. I really appreciate that. Excuse me. And just any feedback on what you like, what you don't like in these videos. I'm happy to as I say, I've got a big one on promotion or bust coming up, I think, that I'm thinking of. I ain't started it yet, but it's something that I think it's where I'm feeling at the moment. It's a yes or a no in tit for season. So let me know what you think. But fantastic at the moment. Shame about Anel, but the quality we've got enough to deal with you know, we can't take too many more. But, you know, quality is as deep as it's ever been in this squad. So stay positive and up the blades.